Alone Together, a Deep Space Nine companion, Episode 3, Tango. Centuries ago, the Military Assault Command was integrated into Starfleet. Not willing to completely abandon the militant aspects of protection, Section 31 of the Federation Charter retains certain aspects of the 4 founding species' respective militaries. Eventually, the surreptitious organization, Section 31, enlisted Dr. Julian Bashir as an unwilling operative. Ultimately, he realized one cold fact, that it was better to work from within than fight the good fight from the outside. This led to many strange bedfellows and even more regretful complications. However, by playing the game, Bashir has risen to a leadership role in Section 31 with unwelcome alliances from foes, old and new, in this quadrant.
In our last episode, Jake Sisko joined Dr. Bashir in his efforts to determine the origin of the Cardassian virus. Though a Romulan agent is likely to be responsible, they have not found a cure and time is running out. Garrick's condition is progressing, which suggests his people are also in dire straits. Jake persists in his investigation of the source of the virus, while Dr. Bashir continues his work on a cure.
Mission log, stardate 73714.2. I'm continuing to work on the structure of the virus. I know that I've seen a similar nucleotide sequence, but the Cardassian RNA is complicating matters. Every simulation I've run on the computer indicates the vaccine will not work in the same way. The pathogen appears to share characteristics of bacteria and viruses. The vaccine destroys the bacterial sheath, but the underlying virus remains unaffected. I'm hoping to interrupt viral protein synthesis, but the challenge is ensuring other genetic material remains unaffected. Garrick? Garrick, are you there?
Yes. It's just a moment, Doctor. I'm sorry. Yes, I was in your accursed scanner, and I'm still there, wandering about like a beggar in the wilderness. Where?
Yes. Sorry, I'm sorry, Garrick. Unfortunately, these tests are the only way to make progress.
And God, yes.
By the way, when...
Good. All right. The computer should be compiling. One moment, Doctor. It should be compiling the results now. All right, yes. We're working.
I'll ask you, Garrick, when is the last time you had a conversation with anyone on Romulus?
A conversation? Oh, well, I suppose it's been some time.
This virus is working quickly, so please dispel your natural inclination towards suspense. Our best theory is that the Romulans are somehow involved in all of this.
All right, Doctor. An old acquaintance named Koval, he sent a rather ambiguous message recently.
Koval?
Yes.
We've met.
Oh, the pleasures we share. May I continue?
What did he say?
He said he heard that Cardassia was returning to its renaissance and I to my roots. He congratulated me. Somehow he became aware that the Obsidian Order was in the midst of a rebirth of sorts. It became necessary to secure Cardassian interests, and as democracy took hold, a happy people are a sedate people. But, Doctor, as the leader of this world, I cannot afford to relax. So I returned to what I knew, and the Order rose from the ashes of the Cardassian past.
I assumed it was something like that, but you said it was an ambiguous message. That seems pretty straightforward.
Well, acquaintance was perhaps the wrong word. We were adversaries.
Well, meaning?
Well, Koval tried to have me killed a dozen times during my exile. Once by the Duras sisters, charming ladies, I so like them. Once by Bajoran militants, and once, actually, several times, after the Romulans entered the war. Yes, and one of their offers would happen by my shop from time to time. Koval always contacted me after each of his failures to congratulate me.
But each time he made an attempt on your life, he congratulated you?
Yes, Dr. Koval is nothing if not a good sport.
Well, Garrick, don't you see, this time he's congratulating you before you're supposed to die. He had you infected.
Ooh, circumstantial, I suppose, but well, it does fit all of the appropriate information. According to the Order's operatives on Romulus, Koval has had to step down.
Tuvan syndrome?
Yes, Tuvan syndrome, exactly. Koval kept that mostly to his trusted advisors. Only a handful of members of the Obsidian Order found out after he revealed his illness to the Senate.
And I'm surprised we didn't learn of this plot. Koval was a mole for Starfleet intelligence, well, until his recent retirement.
Well, indeed. Of all of his failures to kill me, at least Koval chose the winning team.
Right. Let me have a look at your results. The microcellular analysis, it looks so familiar. It looks like an intracellular pathogen, but
Well, do take your time, Doctor. I mean, genocides are known for their glacial pace.
Quickening. The pathogen has characteristics of both bacteria and viruses. Why didn't I see this sooner?
Quickening? What is it, Doctor? Please.
Garrick, you need to start all infected Cardassians on the antigen right away. I can send the formula to you. It may even reverse very early infections, but we can't be sure. Just give me some time to modify it for Cardassian physiology. Another thing, the infected should be isolated from EM fields. Scanning and diagnostic equipment could lead to mutation.
All right, I'm transmitting the order now to isolate the patients. I eagerly await your formula. Doctor, Julian, will your antigen cure this quickening?
Well, Garrick, I can't even be sure it'll work at all. This pathogen has been significantly altered. The quickening caused systemic collapse of vascular structure, but didn't have the capacity to cause neural defects. It has a similar configuration, but it isn't the quickening. In the Teplan people, the antigen only worked as a vaccine. Today, there are virtually no infected people left on the planet. But this pathogen, well, it's far more intricate. If nothing else, the antigen may protect unborn children. Beginner genomic analysis of the viral protein currently displayed. Insert chromosome adaptations into the antigen established for the quickening to this genome.
Awaiting additional input.
Garrick, I'll have the formula to you shortly.
Well, I can't very well tell my people that some of them must die, a rare few could live, and that their children alone will survive. I mean, haven't you been studying this disease for years?
Yes, Garrick, but again, this isn't the same sickness. It looks like the quickening on the most basic scale. Another doctor may not even have recognized it. The Dominion engineered their viruses specifically to punish the Teplan people for daring to defy them. The pathogen underwent a random mutation that accelerated the vascular collapse without warning. It was unnaturally accelerated by EM emissions.
And how does it naturally accelerate?
Well, when I say random mutation, I mean that it happened entirely at random. But the DNA sequence on this virus are almost entirely Cardassian. It was built from the ground up, nucleotide by nucleotide, but it's definitely based on the pathogenic structure of the quickening. At least the antigen gives us a starting point.
Well, then it looks like you have work to do, Doctor.
Yeah, yes, of course. Now, back to more immediate concerns, Garrick. Your heart appears to be developing some mild swelling in the fourth ventricle. Give yourself another hyperspray with 15 milligrams of inaprovaline and repeat it every 6 hours. It should help stabilize your vascular pressure. Add 10 milligrams of cordrazine for any potential discomfort. The challenge of the quickening is that neither an antibiotic nor an antiviral agent can interrupt its replication process quickly enough to stop its proliferation. It simply hides itself within the lymphatic system, waiting for a new chance to propagate.
Well, that sounds rather insidious.
It is, but this pathogen affects neurons, and the closest lymph nodes are in the neck.
Oh, dear.
What?
Doctor, as you requested, patients are being isolated from EM fields, but I've just received word that the first death has occurred in the Coronum sector of the capital, and 2 new patients in Lacarian City have been placed in quarantine as they've begun Babbling.
Well, babbling isn't the worst of symptoms. Wait,
No.
is there any nominal aphasia?
It's... Look, babbling is putting it mildly. They're both Glyns in the military, Julian. Apparently, they've been revealing classified weapons locations to anyone who will listen. The neurological impact of this virus seems to compel the infected to share secrets. Doctor, it is exactly as I feared. Covell must have been hoping I would betray myself. I'm impressed, and I am not easily impressed.
Oh, Garrick, you are such a practiced liar. I hardly think anyone would believe much of what you would tell them.
Oh, why, Doctor, I don't know what to say. Am I blushing?
My recent simulations suggest that the original vaccine won't be effective. It's a start, but it won't do nearly enough to destroy the pathogen. I'm making progress, though.
I appreciate optimism, Doctor, but naivete is hardly in my nature. Perhaps your optimism will be as infectious as this disease.
Perhaps. I hope.
Hope? Hope, my dear doctor, has never been found in a hypospray. We now have dozens of patients who have progressed to this dangerous place of unchecked honesty. I'm running out of time.
Julian.
Jake.
Julian, I have news. And I'm afraid you're not going to like it.
Well, that would be hardly surprising at this point. What have you discovered, my friend?
Koval, the former head of the Tal Shiar, the man you mentioned earlier. Well, he was forced to step down due to an illness, but apparently he disappeared from Romulus a few days after retiring. My sources tell me that he showed up on Cardassia about 5 weeks ago. He attended a state function. You remember that dispute between the Breen? Well, it was followed by a dinner.
Garrick. Garrick?
Yes, Julian.
Garrick, you told me that Koval sent you a message around that time.
So I did. All right. The message was delivered personally. He made an appearance at the dinner following our trade negotiations. Suffice it to say, he didn't stay long. He managed to elude security with falsified credentials and found his way to me, posing as a waiter, of all things. He was serving delicious Aldebaran canapes. But I, of course, recognized him immediately.
Did you try to expose him?
Well, as soon as he left my side, I alerted security. He must have been transported off the surface.
He must have infected you. It fits with all the available information. Jake, have you heard anything else?
Yeah, just one more thing. Koval is dead.
Ah, what a pity.
Garrick, without Koval's information about the pathogen, our ability to develop a cure is reduced.
If Garrick was infected by eating the canopies, I mean, doesn't that help you kind of figure out anything new?
No. All we know is the method of distribution. It also explains why other Cardassians fell ill around the same time. Chances are that once attendees ingested the pathogen, they were able to infect others.
Were Cardassian and Breen the only species in attendance?
Well, not entirely, though we were the majority.
Well, I haven't heard of any reports of illness on any other worlds so far.
Well, that's good news. It means the pathogen was likely designed for Cardassians and hasn't mutated to infect other species yet.
Yes, and while that's good news, it hardly solves our more immediate problem.
But Garrick, don't you understand what this means? I can beam down to the planet with no danger to myself.
Oh.
I'll be able to do so much more.
Julian, we've been through all this.
I'm becoming alone.
And if word gets out that the Federation is able to beam to the surface, yet no one else is permitted, no, I'm sorry. You cannot come to the surface, certainly not yet.
Well, I still haven't been able to find out who did the work on the pathogen. I still have some associates looking into it. Julian, have you figured anything out?
So far, I've been able to destroy the bacterial sheath that contains the virus. that makes the virus susceptible to attack, but the adapted vaccine stops there. It appears that the quickening was just a starting point for Koval. The virus itself seems to attach itself to specific areas of the brain, disrupting some autonomic functions while also causing a kind of dementia.
Well, I suggest you return to your work, Doctor. Thank you for your help, Mr. Cisco.
Yeah, I still have a few sources. I still may be able to get some more information. But, the odd thing is that according to my people on Romulus, Koval's condition shouldn't have deteriorated so quickly.
There are ways to accelerate Tuvan syndrome, but I can't imagine Koval wouldn't want to see his final triumph over Garak.
Tuvan syndrome?
Oh, Jake, that was off the record, as well as everything we're discussing, frankly.
Yeah, I get it, Julian, but, Koval's people, they reported his death as natural causes, and neither would explain the swiftness of deterioration. I don't know, suicide seems even less likely.
Especially considering how many species would gladly kill him in whatever manner he desired.
Well, I'm going to do a little bit more digging.
Thanks, Jake.
Now, Julian, shall we return to the work, please?
Garak, is there someone there with you?
No. Guess again, Julian. Da, 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 da. I'm already bored.
Oh. What do you want? I'm in the middle of something.
Oh, Julian, I know what you're in the middle of. Exactly. Even with all the interference, I can access your mission logs. Why do you make such an effort to avoid learning my rules? I make such an effort to be your friend, Julian, don't I? Don't you have time for an old friend?
Don't mistake tolerance for friendship. And you obviously know I don't have time for your usual entanglements, so get to the point.
Oh, I liked you better in the old days, Julian. Timid, hesitant, submissive.
Working alongside people of questionable morality tends to change a person, and not all for the better.
Oh, well, then I will get right to the point. We need a stable Cardassia for your stable Alpha Quadrant.
We're agreed. I'm researching a cure as we speak, something I really need to get back to.
Oh, I won't keep you, Julian.
Then why are we still talking?
I miss our chats. My Julian just loved it when we chatted, when we spoke. Well, when I took the gag off. But he was never as amusing as you are, as educated, articulate, attractive. Oh, yes, enough pleasure. Your universe is always so serious, all business. Well, let's just say I've been talking to some of our section associates and we need to make a slight alteration to your plans.
My plans? I don't have a cure yet. There isn't time for alterations. People have started dying.
Yes, a few dead Cardassians won't destabilize the quadrant. And from what I've learned from this universe's Bajor, they won't be missed. Oh, how is Ken, by the way?
Ken. And we are not a we anymore.
Oh, how delightful. I really must thank whomever told the Trill government about you two being so close.
Enough! Why are you here? I don't see what any of this has to do with you, unless You wanted to admit to your years of bioengineering on the other side that I didn't know about.
I'm here to represent Bajor in a capacity that luscious young Mr. Cisco cannot.
Bajor and Cardassia have made peace. It's been over 2 decades intended.
Deep wounds are slow to heal, Doctor. You should know that more than most.
Do you have a point?
You know, the Garrick I knew was always plotting behind my back. He was always looking for a way to take my life. His death was delicious. Your Garrick is equally deceptive. So, we want you to let him die.
Look, what other agents are tasked with doing is none of my business, but I will not be responsible for a death.
You mean directly responsible, don't you?
Meaning?
Well, since joining Section 31, you've been aware of some of our less palatable but necessary missions. By allowing them to be carried out, you played a role. However, indirectly.
I didn't join Section 31 of my own accord, and my input has also prevented dozens of unnecessary deaths.
Oh, Julian, however you justify your role in all of this, you still played a part. And personally, if something gives you pleasure, it's never unnecessary, Julian. Garrick cannot be trusted. Your Garrick, my Garrick, any Garrick. The plots, the lies, the manipulations, Garrick alone is a full-time job. We have agents on the planet. 1 or 2 of them could run for office and maintain Cardassia that we have today without the constant need for monitoring.
On the contrary, history is rife with foreign governments installing political leaders who are almost as quickly corrupted as they were inaugurated. I can trust Garrick more than I'll ever trust you.
Yes, but you're one man among trillions of others, and you were indirectly responsible for Koval's ascension. What a good part you've played in Section 31, Julian. But we're not done with you yet. We need more.
More.
We may coordinate this section together, Julian, but we both have to do work for the good of the Federation that we don't necessarily agree with.
We can talk about Garrick again later. Right now, I have work to do.
We aren't talking about this later. You have a mission. Garrick has been holding back the Andorian recovery, instigating attacks from various mercenary groups. He is manipulating the Breen economy with carefully coordinated accidents, and those are just the latest problems that we can attribute to him.
The Andorian evidence is circumstantial at best.
You have your orders. Garrick's political life is over. Amongst his other lives, done. Oh, and Julian, you really must do this more often. Kira out.
Damn it.
Well, that was unexpected.
Garrick, I wasn't sure if you were able to monitor her.
Well, her signal interfered with my visual pickup, but I could hear everything.
I'm sorry.
Julian, we have no time to waste on trivial apologies. What I need to know is if you intend to carry out that mission.
Really?
Yes.
I came here to help my friend. I'm not here to kill anyone, let alone let them die due to alleged incompetence. I do have a reputation to uphold, after all.
Thank you. And I truly mean that. All right, and I suppose I should stick around for the simple fact that you still have so much to learn.
That's not to say that we aren't going to discuss Andoria and the Breen when this is all finished.
Very well. Now, actually, I have more pressing issues to deal with internally.
Which would be?
My informants told me you were a member of Starfleet intelligence.
Ah, yes. Well, I obviously couldn't confirm what you said earlier.
But Section 31. You seem to have detested that organization. Was all that a facade just to throw me off the trail?
No. I had no intention of joining Section 31. I was forced to work with them during the Dominion War. In fact, I thought that Koval was their target at the time.
Ah, I see. Well, it's a shame that he wasn't their target. It would have saved us a great deal of time, trouble, and effort.
Of course. This is infuriating. If I could just access your diagnostic data more directly.
Doctor.
The production of interferons is far lower than the pathogen of this complexity should stimulate. It appears that cytoplasmic receptors have been disrupted.
Well, I don't know what I don't understand. Is it good?
Well, the toll-like
Talk to me, doctor, please.
Yes, the toll-like receptors should have activated an immune response as soon as the microbe passed through the blood-brain barrier. The pathogen must disrupt the natural immune response to prevent your body from effecting its own attack.
And that means?
It means I have a place to begin developing a treatment regimen. Computer, begin new biometric analysis.
Stand by.
Garrick, this could be promising. We should know in a few minutes.
You know, well, I never killed Sub-Commander Ustad. That was the Romulans. The Romulan ambassador, however. Now, that was a different story.
Garrick, are you right?
Julian, I think we'd better hurry. That was information that never should have been shared.
Understood. Garrick, perhaps we should consider taking a sedative?
Oh, if only it were that simple, Doctor. I can't very well allow myself the luxury of rest when my people are suffering. You're making progress. I suggest you focus on that.
All right, Garrick. Perhaps you should get yourself something to eat.
Oh, yes, well, I'm sure I have some Delavian chocolates around here someplace.
Fine. When this is all over, you can share them with me.
Julian, when this is all over.
Over lunch. We will have lunch again, Garrick.
Yes, yes. Of course we will. I have incoming calls from some of the hospitals. I'll be in touch, Julian.
I look forward to it, Elim. I look forward to it.